Hey there, Kim from Colorful Spirits Art Studio here, and I am going to help some of my friends create this Easter Bunny painting. The first thing that I'm going to suggest that you do is either, excuse me, use a Sharpie, or I'm doing a smaller version since I already have my large one, or use your black paint and do your lettering. You might want to do your lettering first. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to have to probably go over it again after you do your background, but it will just be much easier to see if you go over it initially. So I'm going over this one with a Sharpie because I happen to have one handy, but you could just as easily use your black paint. But if you use your paint, you want to make sure it's fully dry before you go to the next step and to do your background, because otherwise you're going to make mush. So I am just, this marker's about had it too. I'm just going over this lettering a little bit so that when I do my background, hopefully I can still see it underneath. And you want it to be a Sharpie because a lot of the other brands will dilute once water hits them. So just something to think about. So either that or, like I said, use your black paint and do this part first so that because if you go over your background with your background color, you're going to lose your lettering. So I'm just trying to kind of save you guys a step here. And that's pretty good. Okay, so once you have your lettering done, however you're going to do it, you're going to take your background color and you're pretty much just going to do all around your bunny. I'm not going to worry too much about my flowers because I can still see them. I'm going to I'm going to kind of go, if I overlap them a little bit, I'm not going to sweat it. Sorry. So don't forget, every now and then you want to add some water to your brush. So it helps to spread your paint. So if your paint is not moving, put some water on your brush. And so even though I'm doing it on paper, I'm still putting water on my brush because it still helps to move it. So these are my flowers over here. So what I'm saying is I'm not going around my flowers perfectly right now because they're really not here yet. So I'm just kind of we're going to put them in detail in a little bit, so I'm not worrying too much about those. Just check and make sure this thing, yeah. I'm just making sure it's running, that I'm not doing this and you guys, oh, I missed the bottom of my bunny. This little tushy's gone. Okay. Okay. See, this color's a little bit on the dark side, so that's what I'm saying. If we went over the lettering with this, chances are pretty good. Without the black, you probably would lose it, so. And I'm still just waiting to the end to go over that part. So now, and remember the background, I just kind of, well, right now I'm doing all over the place, but usually I just kind of do little X strokes, or you could do like kind of circles if you wanted, like, something to make it kind of a foggy background so that you are not you know, if it's all vertical or all horizontal, it's actually going to distract you from your design. So by doing it kind of foggy like this, it helps to make your design pop out. Okay, so you see now I'm going over the lettering, but I can still see it. Because you can't really go around it. It's too small and complicated. So, and mine goes off my paper is a little bigger than the design, so I'm actually going to go to the end here, but you don't have to do that because your flowers will go right off the sides. Okay. So this, you know, once you get your background on there, you may want another coat. I don't know. You have to see how you like it. You can make that decision. I'm using the paint that I have handy. It may or may not be the same paint that you have, so if these colors are a little bit different, just bear with me because, like I said, I've just got this handy, so. In fact, I know this pink is not the same. This pink is going to be way too dark. Actually, I'm going to do my white of the rabbit first, I think. And I'm going to have to get some more white. So I'm going to do the white of the rabbit, and I would suggest, well, I didn't really have to go over his nose, I guess. But I would suggest letting this dry a bit. If you have, I'm sure you guys have a hairdryer somewhere handy. So I would say maybe have a hair dryer out so you can dry these off. Excuse me, my allergies. So you can dry these off before you get to the next step and before you wind up smearing colors, which I may do a little bit here with the green background. And that's exactly what I just did. So I'm just going over the white parts of my bunny. And I'll go around his belly. And this is obviously going to be a lot quicker than what you guys are doing because you've got a bigger version. But I've already done a big one. I don't want to have another one laying around here, so I'm just doing this one to kind of, mainly to show you the flowers, because that's the part I feel like you might get a little hung up on. I mean, I know y'all can handle this part. This is nothing compared to some of the things you've already done, so. So I'm just going back around and making sure I got my bunny covered. Okay, now I'm going to do the pink of my bunny. So I'm looking, I actually have the original behind me here, so every now and then I'm turning my head to look at it. So this is definitely not the same pink that you have, but like I said, it's what I've got handy. And I'm going to switch to a smaller brush because this is such a small version. I think this is a 9 by 12 paper or something, so it's much smaller than what you guys have. I hope you're making the most of this craziness that we're experiencing here. That's part of why I wanted to do these kits to go, to just help people have something to do. And I'm actually working on some things. I have to work out some details, but some things maybe to help people that are struggling a little bit financially with things to do, like, you know, paint kits. So I will let you know as soon as I figure all that out. But, you know, just something to help people out in this time, because I know a lot of people have lost, you know, their businesses have had to close, and a lot of people I know, and it's just craziness. So I'm just trying to think of ways that I can bless people. So, all right, once you get your pink the way you want it, I think what I'm going to do now is jump to my flowers, because I want to let the rest of this dry. So I am going to, I've got this new tripod and I don't really understand it, or it has a mind of its own, I should say. So I'm going to try to, oh, I'm going the wrong direction. Enlarge that so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so these flowers are, and you can do whatever colors you like. Basically, I did, you know, these kind of circles. You can, when you're doing them, you can make them a little more not circular. Maybe make them look like they're kind of floral shapes. And this one's probably going to mix a little bit with the green background. And this one over here. Like I said, you don't have to worry about the colors, don't have to be exact, you know, whatever you like. So I just, make sure you can still see this. I just went in here with a contrasting color. So like in this case, I'm going in with white, and I'm just doing some lines that are just going to indicate that there's a flower there. So I'll show you on another color one in a minute. Let's see, let's do this big one down here, pink. I keep checking to make sure yeah, see, I wasn't in the camera. Move all this stuff down. I apologize, I'm new at this videoing stuff, so I'm gonna have to keep checking. It's over my head, so I have to keep standing up to see what it sees. So hopefully in this one, the pink, you can see a little bit better. And then you can do some other lines inside of it. And I think I gave you all some purple, I hope. And you can go in with just a contrasting color. Could be purple, could be blue. And, you know, we're not looking for perfection here. We're just looking for a fun little flower. And then I've got a leaf down here. And I think there's another leaf over here maybe. And I didn't put anything on the bottom, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the bottom in a little bit. So the leaves can just be green. You don't have to go crazy with these. Is that a flower or is that's a flower? I think there's another leaf here that I covered up. Make sure you can still see what I'm doing here, okay? And then, I don't know if I gave you red or not, but like I said, I'm using what I've got here. So remember, when you do your, you know, where the circles are, just make them kind of random shapes so it doesn't look like a circle really. And then we're going to go in with, like I said, a contrasting color. So it could be white, it could be pink. And we're just going to kind of make some lines in there to make it sort of say flower. And you can even go back over these here with a little bit of white highlights if you want. But you don't have to. Oh, I think that was a flower. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Yeah, that's a flower. All right, let me find another color here. It's going to blend with my green a little bit, but it's all good. So, yeah, I may have to let that one dry a little bit because it's really mixing it with my green. And then, let's see, we'll do this one over here. You can do it where you do little strokes, and the strokes kind of indicate that it's a flower. Like that's kind of an orange, and I can put some yellow in there. It's really whatever you like, but don't, you know, just don't sweat it too much. This one's supposed to be a little bit bigger. All right, let me see where I'm at. Yep, I'm not on the camera. Let's go back out. I apologize, guys. I have a severe learning curve when it comes to this stuff, and especially this new tripod. I have no idea what I'm doing. So, okay. I'm gonna do another pink one over here. And then I'm just going to go in with some white and just make some strokes in there. I mean, you could do like swirly things. You could do almost anything. Let's see. I'm trying to see where I have the leaves because I can't. I'm going to be wild and crazy and put a blue one in here. And if it's dark, you probably want to do the white so that you've got some contrast. Let's see. This is pretty dark. I don't know how this is going to go. So, like I said, we're just breaking up that circle so it looks a little more like something that was growing. And this one I'm gonna, organic, that's the word I'm looking for. And I'm going to get back to my lettering in a little bit, so, because I know we lost some of it here, but that's why I did yellow there so we could see through it. I'm going to put this over here because it looks like there's another little flower here, maybe. I've already got one of those, but. I may not have my leaves perfectly where yours are because I can't. Get my brush off. And obviously, if you have another way that you like to do flowers, you know, all of my things here are suggestions. You do what you like, what you're comfortable with. Like I said, I've got a little more room on the left side of my paper, so I'm going to put a few extra leaves on the side. And then on the other side, I don't know what I have going on over here. So I'm going to, and you can put in more flowers, you know, than what I had. I mean, I'm just going to stick one in here because, again, I had some extra room. That pink doesn't really work, it's too dark. Okay, so there is basically what we're thinking, what we're looking at with the flowers. I'm gonna go around this one one more time, which probably shouldn't do because I'm about to do the lettering. Okay, tell you what, before, instead of the lettering, I'm gonna go to the Easter eggs. So the Easter eggs, I've got, you know, different designs on mine, but you can do whatever you want. Like let's see, this one I've got polka dots. So, just brushes. This one's light blue with polka dots, but again, you don't have to make it, you can just, they can all be solid. For those of you that are saying, you know, this is too much, they can be stripes. You can make it however you like. So I'm gonna get that on there, and I'm gonna leave that to dry a bit. And then I'm going to, let's see, this one I've got a light green color, which I've got a little bit of everything on this brush right now, so. Okay, and then the last one I've got all kinds of stripes, so if you want to do the stripes, I would say do them, you know, like this. You don't want to do a solid color, you know, like on that green one on top. I may regret doing that all green. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. You might want to draw out your design first, and then you can paint it accordingly. And then I've got some skinnier lines on the inside here. Alright, we're going to let that dry a minute. Alright, now you can either go back to your Sharpie, or if you have your paint handy, I'm going to attempt to do it with paint here on this tiny version. Hopefully my head's not in the way. So I'm going to go over what I did before. And again, I'm not sure what kind of brushes you'll have. I wish I could have supplied you brushes, but there's just no way I can do that with everybody that's been ordering these. Okay, now the Easter one is the tough one, because this is, and I still covered mine up pretty good here. Oh, see, and I just did that wrong. Okay, don't look at me, that was wrong. I thought it was a different lettering thing, so I'm gonna fix that. My bad. And again, might help to wet your brush just a little bit. And whichever brush you have, just don't press too hard, because like I always say, you can, even with the thinnest brush, you can get a thick line if you press too hard. Okay, that definitely takes a little bit of concentration. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back here and try to cover up what I goofed up on. Okay. If you want to, you can go back on some of your leaves and put a little bit of yellow in there if you're feeling particularly artsy. This one I lost the point. You know, you could do the vein down the center, whatever works for you. Oh, and I don't know what was supposed to be in there. Missed that altogether too. Let's see, oh, there was a teeny tiny flower in there. Okay. So the little yellow pops on the leaves, just give it a little something, something. Okay. Probably should have done the nose and the eyes while I had the black on my brush, but maybe close to time for me to get some new brushes too. Okay. Oh, his nose is pink. Oh well, I made it black. See, I'm not thinking here. I don't know if I can fix that, so I'm gonna leave it. All right. See, I told you I have the painting behind me, so I can't really see what I'm looking at here. All right. And then if you do some kind of stripes, you can go back in once your first set of stripes have dried a little bit. And I'm getting a little bit of green here from my blue. Okay, so on, then I did some polka dots, which I always do with the back of the, you know, my paintbrush. I just dunk it right into the paint, and then I get some pretty decent polka dots. Okay. And on the top one, let's see, I did do some stripes on there, but what I'm gonna do I want to do stripes? I guess I can try to go over it. Let's see. See if we can go over this green. feel like I kind of fudged the shape of this egg a little bit. Going back in with my background color because it looks a little wonky. Okay. So then I've got some polka dots on this one. And then on the blue part, I did some flowers. Now this is pretty tiny here, so I'm probably not going to do too many of them on this one, but so I'm just making like a little star with my brush. And then in the center of those, I did a little, maybe too much to do with this, we'll see. Okay, well, so this is a much smaller version I'm working with here. Okay, and then on my blue one, I did polka dots. So I could do some okay. So then what I did on the bottom was I just put some grass in. So he's kind of not floating around here. He's just, so I'm just putting these little strokes. And I don't think you have as much room at the bottom of yours as I do on the bottom of mine, but I'm going to go all the way down here. And, you know, you can also mix colors too. You can mix a little of the pink with the green, it'll make a darker, or the red, make a darker green. And then you can go back with some yellow and put some yellow highlights on some of this grass. And the grass, remember, it grows every which way, so have them crisscross, and probably underneath him we'll just cover all that up because he'd be standing in it anyway. You could have some, like it's laying down underneath him. All right, I can't believe I did his nose black. What a knucklehead. All right, and you're going to put some highlights in his little eyes. And then, I think this is the last thing we're going to do, is you can take a little bit of that black, and you're going to gently go around, if you want to, and you're going to outline your bunny. I need a little bit of water on there. Just make sure we're still in the... We're still recording? Okay, I think I'm about to lose my battery. Hopefully this will last. So, and it doesn't have to be a solid line. You know, just kind of go around in some spots. You just want to give them a little bit of a pop. And you could do this in the darker blue if you wanted to put some shadows on him or something. Oh, I see what I did over here. Part of his ear was showing there and I lost it. He had a little piece of his ear sticking out there and I lost it. I knew something didn't look right over there. I just couldn't figure out what it was. All right, so from here, I mean, you could do the same thing with the flowers if you want, but you don't have to. Like I said, you can do them in some spots, not everywhere. Make sure that bucket's in the way. And this might be a little too heavy. I'm getting a little bit heavy with the brush, but I can go back and fix some of that. But that's pretty much what we're doing here. So the hardest thing for y'all might be just the flowers. And let me see if I have a blank piece of paper here. Okay, so that is my quickie finished bunny here. But then I'm going to just show you real quick again. So if this is your flower, so you're just going to make your circles, not going to be quite a circle. And you can kind of go on the inside a little bit. You could leave the white spaces if you want, or you can fill it in. And then you're going to go in with a contrasting color. And it sort of makes a flower. It's not, you know, perfect. You could also do something, if you want to just keep the circle, you can kind of do flowers like with kind of like swirlies inside of them. So it's really what you're comfortable with. And you could do them, you know, the regular, you know, like the kids might want to just do them with petals and all. So whatever you all like to do is just fine. So I'm going to do one more of those just so you can see. But this is pretty much how I did them on there. Okay, that pink might be too dark, but that sort of gives us a flower shape. And then once you got leaves on there, it's definitely, you know, there's no question that it's a flower. So hopefully this was some help to you guys. I wish we could be together in person. I can't wait till this mess is over because I really enjoy spending time with everybody. So, but I thank you for, you know, getting your kits, and hopefully this was helpful to you. And hopefully I will see you as soon as this mess is over with. All right, bye, Michelle. Thank you.